Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's head outside, take a look outside our weather window from this afternoon. Boy, it was a nice one, a little bit breezy at times, but not as bad as we've seen, that's for sure. The sun sure felt great out there today, and it made for a beautiful shot looking down at the Wenatchee Valley. That from our Sky-Fi tower camera up at Wenatchee Heights. Get ready for some wind and a changing weather pattern for Wednesday. We could see winds 35 to 40 miles an hour in the Wenatchee area, even a little bit stronger in parts east, but also this wind will affect our folks in the Columbia Basin and Waterville Plateau. We could even see some morning rain showers. We'll talk much more weather coming up a little bit later on. Now, a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. A Renton man pleaded guilty today to a charge of child molestation just as his trial was about to begin in Chelan County Superior Court. A Seattle man is charged with multiple criminal counts for allegedly throwing bricks and rocks through windows of 4 Upper Valley businesses. And a community concert this Sunday at Grace Lutheran Church in Wenatchee will be raising money to cover the cost of housing, food, medical, and clothing expenses for Ukrainian refugees who have found their way here to north central Washington. But first, our top story tonight. A body found in Walla Walla last week has been confirmed to be Yanira Cedillos of Moses Lake, who police say was murdered by her former boyfriend March 3rd in Moses Lake after celebrating her 30th birthday. Law enforcement and friends and family have been searching for her body since Juan Trujillo Gastelum was arrested March 10th in Hermiston, Oregon on charges of second-degree rape and second-degree murder in her death. Moses Lake police said they received information from Gastelum's cell phone data that showed he'd been in a remote area in Walla Walla County off Highway 12 just outside of Wallula Junction the morning Cedillos was reported missing. Last Thursday evening, searchers found a female body in a sleeping bag covered with tree limbs and leaves. After an autopsy yesterday, the Spokane County medical examiner confirmed the body to be Cedillos. Police believe Gastelum killed Cedillos in her Moses Lake apartment and say he was seen on video the next morning cleaning out his car and disposing of evidence. A Renton man pleaded guilty today to a charge of child molestation just as his trial was about to begin in Chelan County Superior Court. 55-year-old Mark Darren Starman pleaded to third-degree child molestation, avoiding trial on a first-degree charge. Starman admitted to having sexual contact with a 13-year-old girl during a visit to Lake Eniat in 2007 when he was 40 years old. The victim disclosed the incident years later, and Starman was initially charged in 2019. With his plea, Starman is now being held in the Chelan County Jail. He'll be sentenced June 28th, and prosecutors say they'll recommend a prison term of 1 year and 1 day. In other news, a Seattle man is charged with multiple criminal counts for allegedly throwing bricks and rocks through the windows of 4 Upper Valley businesses. The 59er Diner at Coles Corner, the Leavenworth Howard Johnson Hotel, and the Cashmere Valley Bank branches in Leavenworth and Cashmere all reported finding their windows smashed in the early morning of March 27th. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies say video footage shows 55-year-old Donald J. Stanfield driving to each location, retrieving a brick from his vehicle or a rock from the ground, and hurling it through a window pane before driving away. At the diner, the brick struck a beer tap and caused beer to overflow onto the restaurant floor and into its basement. Prosecutors charged Stanfield by summons with 4 counts of malicious mischief. Investigators say the damage to the 3 businesses totals around $9,200 in value. Well, a community concert this Sunday at Grace Lutheran Church in Wenatchee featuring the Glad Song Choir will be raising money to cover the cost of housing, food, medical, and clothing expenses for Ukrainian refugees who have found their way to north central Washington. Wenatchee attorney Russ Spidell, who is hosting a mother and daughter from the war-torn country, and Barbara Tilley, who is organizing the concert, talked with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz about the concert and the people it will be helping.
On May 22nd, 7 p.m., right here in the sanctuary, we'll be having a concert by Gladsong,
yes.
And that's a fairly new group that Tim Meyer has organized. You probably know that he was the director of the Apollo Club for years and was music director at United Methodist Church. And so he's put this group together, not as a fundraising effort for their group, but they want to put on concerts to help different charities. So we feel honored to be able to have them this soon because not many people in the Valley have really heard them. And so they'll be putting on a program, and then Russ will speak during the middle of the program with some of the ideas you've just expressed. And then we'll be asking the Ukrainians who know the national anthem of Ukraine to come up to the front, and Olga is going to lead them in that. And I heard the 3 little children who live at her house do that at the Brethren Baptist Church a Sunday ago, and it was just absolutely thrilling.
My wife Jean and I are housing a wife and a daughter. They left when the bombs were falling. They left in the middle of the night. The wife's husband told her, "You better go." And so they began a process of leaving. It took them several days to leave their city near Kyiv and reach the border with Poland. They traveled by foot, by car, by bus. When they reached the Polish border, they had to stand for 5 hours in the snow and the rain before they could pass into Poland. They ended up in Krakow, spent many days trying to obtain help to translate for themselves into English forms that had to be completed in order to come here. They eventually flew out of Warsaw to Frankfurt and then to Seattle.
When we come back, Our Valley, Our Future is seeking public input on the Wenatchee Valley's housing crisis. The Chelan Douglas Board of Health held its first in-person meeting since the COVID-19 pandemic took hold in March of 2020. The Board of Cascade School District is the School Board of the Year, and 2 major projects are taking shape in Quincy thanks in large part to efforts of volunteers. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
What is home? A place to gather, a place to grow, provide shelter for the ones we love, eat, drink, restore, build trust. It's a place to rest when the workday is done, a place to find quiet after a night of good fun. What an honor we have at Guild to help own, finance, create, pave the way to live in home.
Spring is more than just a time to clean. It's your time to renew, recharge, and spend time with the people you love. At Merry Maids, our cleaning services go beyond the basic services and provide you with a comprehensive clean that will re-energize your home and enhance your life. From everyday routine cleaning or deep cleanings, Merry Maids professional team members can provide you with an unrivaled experience. Call Merry Maids to schedule your cleaning today.
Welcome back. And in other news, Our Valley, Our Future is seeking public input on the Wenatchee Valley's housing crisis. The nonprofit Visioning Group has made housing a priority over the last 5 years as home seekers deal with rocketing prices and a shortage of available houses and apartments. You can participate in the survey through Our Valley, Our Future's website, ourvalleyourfuture.org. The association also plans to hold a regional housing summit on June 1st, aimed at those who work in the housing industries. Facial masks were still in effect, but last night the Chelan Douglas Board of Health held its first in-person meeting since the COVID-19 pandemic took hold in March of 2020. Only 2 board members attended in person, with 4 others participating online. But staff with the Chelan Douglas Health District were there, along with former health officer Dr. Malcolm Butler, who received an award of recognition for his work during the public health emergency. This was also the last meeting of the current 8-member board. Starting next month, the group will be 12 members strong, with 5 new civilian members joining 7 local elected officials as a result of changes in state law. Well, the Board of Cascade School District is the School Board of the Year. That district educates students from Leavenworth, Peshastin, Lake Wenatchee, Dryden, and other areas of the Upper Valley. Last week, the North Central Educational Service District named Cascade's trustees as Board of the Year for 2022, praising the board's community focus and collaborative effort. NCESD serves 29 school districts throughout North Central Washington. Well, 2 major projects are taking shape in Quincy thanks in large part to efforts of volunteers. On a plot of land across from Quincy High School, volunteers are well along in building community garden plots that will soon offer 2 sizes of personalized raised beds where residents can plant and grow their own gardens. The garden beds stretch from Central Avenue to 6th Street, with some already containing plant starters donated by Quincy High School FFA members. On the other side of town at East Park, the Evergreen Mountain Bike Alliance is leading an effort to install a pump track. Bike Alliance volunteers have come from throughout the state to work with local volunteers on the project and reported last week that they're now awaiting an asphalt delivery that will allow them to complete work soon. The cost of the city-funded pump track is estimated at $185,000. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's features story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in North Central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa has hot tubs in stock now. Spas are scientifically proven to improve sleep and ease arthritis pain. Let us help you find the perfect spa today. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa is helping families reconnect, one hot tub at a time.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, the COVID-19 pandemic has now killed 1 million Americans, including 231 people in Chelan and Douglas counties. And while hospitalizations and deaths in the area are nowhere near their peak, The region's chief health officer says local cases and infections have begun a slow trend upward.
COVID still occupies the majority of our epidemiological focus in Chelan-Douglas. We're seeing increasing cases in Chelan-Douglas as we are across Washington and the broader U.S. Case counts aren't as reliable as they have been because there's such an abundance of home tests that are underreported, but we can follow trends, and trends are reliable, and we are seeing increases. There are a number of variants or lineages of Omicron. BA2 is the most predominant right now. It has retained many of the similarities that we welcome in Omicron, and prevention of spread and complications remains the best strategy. The increase in cases in north central Washington is primarily driven by Chelan and Douglas counties, and it's just starting to see a suggestion that cases are increasing in Grant County and not yet in Okanogan County. Here are the internal dashboard numbers for Chelan-Douglas, and you can see that we've got a few more cases in the past 7 days than the past 14 days. We're watching school outbreaks closely. This data is from statewide schools, and there was an increase in school outbreaks in the middle of March following the end of masking and some other precautions that were in place. That was to be expected, but with the low case numbers, we're not seeing as many school outbreaks as we were in January and February. Our staff members are responding and supporting schools and helping them with decision making to limit the spread of those cases that are being reported in schools.
Time now to take a look at your north central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Tuesday was a good one. Really no complaints temperature-wise today. Unofficially 66 degrees. 72 is our normal. 45 is where we were this morning. 49 our normal low temperature. Sunrise this morning 5:22 and the sun sets tonight at 8:34. Taking a look at your Wednesday temperatures. Big weather changes as we get into tomorrow. We'll just talk about temperatures right now, and they will be down a little bit. 66 in Moses Lake and Ephrata, 64 in Quincy, 62 in Wenatchee, and a little cooler in the mountainous areas of our viewing area. But the thing is, there's an area of low pressure that we'll show you right now, and it's just off the coast of Washington. This is tonight. That will bring us increasing clouds tonight. It will be mild with lows in the upper 40s for us. And then as we get into Wednesday, that low will move just up into British Columbia, but that will really kick up the winds. Here's your morning commute on Wednesday. Things will clear out a little bit by afternoon, and that's when the winds will really blow, is Wednesday afternoon. High temperatures, as we just talked about, predominantly in the low 60s. Getting you into Thursday, still going to deal with some of that wind right here in north central Washington. Unseasonably cool. Look at this. High temperatures Thursday only in the upper 50s. As we get into Friday, things begin to change for the better for us. For Friday, we will see a little bit more of a westerly and northwesterly flow as an inverted ridge begins building over the northwest. We'll see high temperatures Friday, somewhere back into the upper 60s, and then by the weekend, even a little bit better. Mostly sunny. A ridge will be in effect all across the western U.S. We're talking highs Saturday right around that 70-degree mark, and even a little bit warmer for Sunday, even though I think we'll see a little bit more of a push of clouds on Sunday. High temperatures in the lower 70s for Sunday, and then kicking off our next work week on Monday, I think we'll take it. Partly cloudy skies, seasonal temperatures. Here's our next weather maker, and that'll be about Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, but enjoy Monday because we're going to see high temperatures once again in the low 70s. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. Mild tonight, 48 degrees. Rain, wind, and cooler temperatures for Wednesday and 62. 59 is all your high temperature Thursday, and then there's that beautiful warm up. Partly cloudy to mostly mostly sunny skies for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, with highs in the lower 70s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
The Lake Chelan Rotary Club invites you to experience the newly expanded Cycle Chelan, held June 25th, 2022. Pick your thrill from 4 rides: the Century Challenge, Cycle Divino, the Lake Loop, or the Butte Blast. All profits from Cycle Chelan are used to support student scholarships of the Lake Chelan Rotary Club. Cycle Chelan 2022. Pick your thrill today.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. The Mariners failed once again to provide Chris Flexen any run support in a 6-2 loss at Toronto yesterday. Flexen fanned 7 Blue Jays in 5 of the third innings to take his 6th loss of the season. Now, while he was on the mound, whatever you try to say, Seattle managed just 1 hit and 0 runs to support him. In Flexen's 7 starts this season, the Mariners are averaging just 1 run of offense. That's not a recipe for success.
Curveball hit to deep left field. Gone! Bo Bichette and the Blue Jays strike early here tonight. Driven to center, and this one is well hit, and this one is gone. Well, that'll make them feel a whole lot better. Chapman, who's had a lot of warning track fly balls already this season, drives one out to straightaway center, and it is 2-0. Moore charging. Dylan Moore lays out, and Dylan Moore makes the catch. What a play. That ends the Blue Jays threat. Going to stay in play, it looks like. Laddie tracking it, and he made the catch. What a nice over-the-shoulder catch by Guerrero down the line. Again, the 1-2. To left center field, it's dropping and down. Collins will score. Chapman will get held at third on a long RBI single by Tapia to make it 3-0. He swings, clobbers this high and deep out to left field, and number 200 in the career of Eugenio Suarez. It comes north of the border. What a career milestone for the Mariners slugging third baseman. And the 1-0. And that's lined into center, a base hit. Here comes Bichette, here comes Guerrero, and it's 5-1. Little looper, that'll drop. Tapia will score with ease. Around to third comes Springer, and it's 6-1. Out in front, 0-2. And bounce through the hole into right, a base hit. A run will come in to score. Ford will stop at second. That's going to make it 6-2. Swing and a miss. It won't matter as Simber gets him. And that is your ball game. The Blue Jays open up the week-long homestand with a very nice 6-2 win over the Seattle Mariners.
Seattle making another swing at it again today. That game's on right now on Root Sports Northwest. We'll have state soccer action on TV tonight here on the NCWLIFE channel. The Wenatchee Panthers host the Tahoma Bears in the first round of the State 4A soccer tournament at Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl. I'll have your call live on Facebook at 6. We'll have the on TV following our news at 6:30. Eastmont is off until tomorrow when they'll travel to Berleman Prep High School to face the Lions in Tacoma. with that game time set to get underway at 6 o'clock. Bridgeport, meanwhile, hosting a state AB play-in game today against Columbia White Salmon. The winner will advance to the first round of the state tournament against the Bush School on Friday. Manson travels to Vashon Island for a play-in game tomorrow at 5:45. The winner of that game will face Cascade in the Apple Bowl Friday in the first round. Quincy awaits its first round opponent from a play-in between Riverside and Seattle Academy. Jackrabbits will host that game Friday at 6 p.m. Well, congratulations to the Wenatchee girls golf team, winners of the district tournament yesterday. The Panthers were a full 61 strokes better than second place Sunnyside at Three Lakes Golf Course. Eastmont took third. Wenatchee's Ashley Willoughby was the medalist with a 90. Her teammate J.C. Mowbray was third. Congratulations to the ladies. The boys started their two-day district tournament this morning at Yakima Elks Golf and Country Club. They'll finish tomorrow at Apple Tree Golf Course. State baseball is getting ready for this weekend with regional action. The 4A tournament is in Richland for Moses Lake. They'll face Curtis at 10 a.m. The Bombers face Mount Si in the second game at 1. The winners of the first two games will face off for the regional championship at 4 o'clock, with the winner advancing to the state semifinals. Ephrata will be at WF West High School for the 2A regionals on Saturday. Tigers face Fife at 10 a.m., followed by Shadle Park and Tumwater at 1. Winners will play for the regional title at 4 p.m. Chelan will stay relatively close to home for its regional tournament and play Meridian and Wenatchee at Recreation Park Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. That's followed by Clahoya and College Place at 1. Winners will face off at 4 o'clock in the afternoon for the state 1A semifinals. Quincy travels to Mount Vernon and the Dream Field at Skagit Valley College Saturday. Jackrabbits have a 10 a.m. game against Cedar Park Christian. Now, if they win that, they'll face the winner of Kingsway Christian and Natchez Valley at 4 o'clock for the regional championship. 2B teams from North Central Washington will be spread near and wide for their regional tournaments coming up this weekend. Okanagan plays Tri-Cities Prep at Shadle Park High School at 10 a.m. Saturday. They'd face the winner of Toledo and Jenkins Chewelah. If they win, Brewster, meanwhile, gets to stay home for its regional with Warden at 10 o'clock Saturday morning. That's followed by Friday Harbor and Kalama at 1. The regional championship will be in Brewster Saturday afternoon at about 4 o'clock. Liberty Bell heads for Castle Rock High School Saturday. They'll face Forks in the second game after Ilwaco plays Tootle Lake at 10 a.m. Winners will face off at 4. Turning to softball, Big 9 heads for its postseason with play-in games happening today. As a matter of fact, right now, Wenatchee's hosting Eisenhower at Walla Walla Point Park in a loser-out game. The other game has Sunnyside at West Valley. Winners of today's games will play the highest remaining seed Friday at 3 o'clock. Eastmont, meanwhile, awaits Moses Lake Friday at 4 for the district championship. Good luck to the Wildcats. District 5-6 2A tournament wraps up today in Sela. Ephrata faces Prosser in the loser-out game. That's the same time, by the way, underway right now. Ellensburg and East Valley are taking on one another. Sela, meanwhile, playing Othello for the district title. Winners between Prosser, Ephrata, Ellensburg, and East Valley will play for the final shot at state at 6 o'clock tonight. District 6 1A tournament set for this Saturday in Peshastin. Quincy plays Cascade in the semifinals at 11, followed by Cashmere and Omak. The winners of the first two games will play for the district title at 3 o'clock. And the District 6 2B tournament resumes on Thursday with Okanagan hosting Lake Roosevelt for the championship at 4:30. Tenasket travels to Brewster for a loser-out game at 4:30. On Saturday, the loser of the title game between Okanagan and Lake Roosevelt will host the winner of Brewster and Tenasket at 11 a.m. for a last chance at state. Did you follow all that? Nonetheless, state soccer coming up later on right here on the NCWLIFE channel. That's sports news. Grant, back to you.
Just a little going on. Thank you, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. On Wednesday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, our good friend Chris Clark, the head coach of the Wenatchee Wild, and Troy will be joining us as well. He handles the younger kids. What's on the agenda, Clarky?
We're going to talk a little Fred Page Cup final. We're going to talk our final camp coming up this weekend, and some development teams and some building. So we got everything Wenatchee Wild for you.
And a lot of Wenatchee Wild players are coming back come this fall. That's exciting news, too. That'll be on tomorrow's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, guys. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCWLIFE. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.